welcome to my channel. My name is Jade Crystal, JC, and I am doing a beautiful channel for us tonight from the lovely goddess Persephone. It is the pink full moon where I am right now, but these readings are calibrated to be timeless. There is frequency downloads and activations within these readings, and any time that you end up finding or coming across this will be the perfect time for you. This is a collective reading, so take what resonates to you and bring it through your own prayers, your own intuition, and leave what isn't for you. Now let's begin. So the beautiful Persephone has been one of my guides for predominantly, probably all my life, but predominantly I always resonated to her story, of course, but predominantly I've been working extremely closely with her and Hecate for the last couple years now. And she came through very, very strongly on this pink moon with some activations. Now, of course, remember these readings are timeless, so whenever you come across them, these are activating in your timeline, and it doesn't have to be on the pink moon. But for those of you that have been working with Persephone, this is a collective that I am speaking to. This is a collective that has been working with her sacred symbols of the pomegranate, the poppy, sunflower, lavender, honeysuckle, lilac, narcissus, or daffodil, dandelion, geranium, daisy, chamomile, camellia, marigold, violet. She has been in your life, in your world. Maybe you have been really called to Greek mythology. Maybe you love the story of her story, her love story of Hades and her. And she's just the giver of life, and she's the goddess of spring. So she is the goddess of life and rebirthing and death cycles. And she is just such a phenomenal, powerful guide and angel to work with. So she's coming through today and talking to that specific collective that has been really committed and dedicated to their growth and to their personal development. They are really dedicated to being the curse breaker in their family generational patterns. They are working on their self-concept. They are working on, or you are working on your nutrition, your body as a temple. You have been changing just everything about the way you speak, about the way that you meet this world, so that you can really claim the power of being the creator and manifester of your own reality. And you have been intentionally going forth for this. So you'll know that this reading is for you, if that is you. Now, she comes and talks about the new beginnings of spring. So true spring is symbolic around February 3rd. It changes, of course, with the moon. But she's talking to you about the energy gateway that we walked through in Embolic. And again, like I said, these readings are timeless because you can have your own inner spring. You can have your own inner summer, your own inner winter, your inner autumn. So you might just also be going through your own inner spring. So take what applies. Now, spring is new beginnings, and she's come to help you if you feel called to work more deeply with her, or have already been, of course, to help you dive deeply into your shadows. This is a descent into the underworld, and many of you have already been taking this descent at varying levels. Some of you started last summer, some of you started last fall, but you've gone into the depths of yourself. You have pulled out the shames, the guilts, the depravities within you, anything that was holding you back, because you are a beautiful, integritous, pure, wonderful soul, but bad things have happened to you. You have been through it. The collective that I am talking to, you have been through everything. Like, people that know what you have been through, they look at you as such an inspiration because they couldn't have handled what you have been through, and you've overcome it, and you've transmuted it, and you have made sure that it's alchemized in your whole bloodline so that this pattern is ending with you. And of course, we can say that this is your soul contract, that you came down here to do this, and Persephone made this contract with you to come and help you. There's many different guides that will do that, right? And so she's coming to help you transmute the traumas that were done to you. And so in this last cycle, from the last new moon to this full moon, you may have really been feeling a grieving and a purging. You might have even had some lung things come up, some bronchial things. I know that I'm dealing with them right now because that's actually grief and really deep cellular trauma purging out from the cells. For me personally, which I believe will resonate with some of this collective, it's been calling us forth to look at, if you're single, what does family mean to you beyond the pressure society puts on you, especially if you are identifying as a woman or a divine feminine, to have children, to be partnered, to be married, and the social structures and status with that. But then also understanding that in the matrix system that we're looking at, a lot of people are in these situations and they're not happy. That wasn't their fullest, truest purpose. And not everybody is here to come and have a traditional idea of family. And Persephone is helping to guide you to look at, what is your idea of family? Where is love all around your life? Where is love filling your life in other ways that someone has told you maybe that you are missing those things, but are you? How much love is around you? How many people can you call family that are in your vicinity? And if you've been walking a lone wolf journey and you need more of your soul path and soul tribe to come in, it is coming now. This is your sign. This reading, you finding this, it is all being connected to you as you invite more love in, which is what I can see you have been working on. You have been really shutting off these limitations, these ideas that were put upon you, and you have been accepting that where you are is where you are, and where you are is where you're meant to be. And there's a destiny piece in that, and there's a fated piece in that. Now there are blocks that can arise from things that need to heal within our ancestry, within the matrix, trying to block us, especially as we rise and we claim more power. There will be those tests, those initiations, but you don't need to worry anymore because you're completely protected. You're completely guided out of those. And so those, I'm not telling you this so that you fear them. I'm telling you this so that you prepare and that you understand and you really anchor into that worthiness and that belief and love for yourself that you can do this, and that you trust yourself to do this, and that you lean into the support of Hecate, of Persephone, of any of the guides around you that you resonate to, because the feminine is rising. So there are so many sisters and grandmothers in our ancestral line and of ascended masters, archangels, that are supporting us through this growth and these transitions right now, because it's time for the feminine to rise. She is going to clear and clean and heal the collective high heart of humanity, of all the wounded masculines and feminines that are out there. And how we do that is with our own individual journey and our own individual healing within us right now, with these little victories, these wins, these initiations, and these reclamations. And so cleaning out the violence within you, the darkness within you, the shames, going in and really exploring of like, ooh, I didn't really know that I thought like that, and I don't really like that I have that inclination in me, but let's go explore it and look at it in a safe environment and within divinity, within an activation, or within a realm that is angelically guided. And so that I can really understand, why I have this, where did this come from? When did it come from? Is it from a past life? Where is it coming from? And then you're really alchemizing it and you're really transmuting it into a strength. And I find in these processes, because I do these with clients as well as with myself, in these processes of exploring these shadow sides, there are depravities within us that we have experienced. A lot of us, and if you found this channel, you're an ancient soul. A lot of us are ancient souls. We've been on this earth for a long time. We have experienced abuse. We have experienced the dark ages. We got lost in some karmic cycles that were pretty freaking dark. So we have some of these things living still within us. And when we actually allow ourselves to go into them in a meditative state with a divine guide, a guardian angel, Persephone, anyone that you feel comfortable with, that is true unconditional love, that will never ask you to hurt yourself or another, you can really start to kind of play these out and see why they're there, where they come from. What would happen if you stopped judging it in guilt and shame and you were to act upon it in a visualization? And it helps to heal it. It helps to integrate it into your system so that you're not running from it anymore. You're not judging and shaming. And I know a lot of you are going through this right now. So there is a difference between scars from evil and true evil, she's telling me. And she's directing you to understand the difference, because this is also going to establish the frequency within you of understanding the signature of what pure evil is and what pure love is, because that is the second coming. That is talked about in so many different religions. Our sight opening back up so that we can understand, okay, that's actually evil. Oh, that's lack of integrity, and that's just a wound. And there's a very big difference with all of those. And we can actually see what can be healed, what can be touched with the light of our divinity, with the Holy Spirit within, because as we crack open, um, as we go into these hurts, into these fissures inside of us, and we heal them, we bring in more light. We become a vessel of ample amounts of light, and we just keep shining light out because there's just no dark places within us anymore. And then as that anchors down into our field, it goes through our whole bloodline. And then it connects to all of us doing the same work through our hearts and through our wombs and this womb and heart web. So it's a really beautiful process that Persephone is helping to guide you through right now and showing me. And this is something that I've been working on really strongly. I can see parts of it going on throughout my whole life, of course, but I got really conscious about it in the last few years. And so that could be like a mirroring for you right now. So she says that she's come to the ancient ones who have been caught up in years of earth violence and trauma and drama, being restored and renewed through divine justice. So there's anointing going on, and there's a frequency reattunement. And so a lot of joy is going to start to flood your life. Now you're still going to have tests and trials, because that's just how the frequencies work right now. Like, do you really want it? Do you really mean it? And some of the tests, of course, are divine, and most of those will be for you, but there will be other little hurdles that the other side will try to throw in because they don't want us waking up. So just, again, not to be scared, but just to be prepared and aware, and just know you're protected, know you're guided. If there's any point where you feel confused, psychically attacked, or not knowing what to do, turn to Persephone, turn to Hecate, turn to any of your guides and angels that you feel, the universe, creator, that you feel resonate with you the most. To me, I work with Mother Mary, Mary Magdalene, Isis, Kuan Yin the most, but I work with Sekhmet, I work with Matt. So I just tune in to whoever I need to help me through that situation. And when I'm not sure, I come back into myself, I come back into meditation, I turn down within, and this is what I'm recommending to you from this reading. This whole reading, when I sat down to channel it, I've actually been channeling this reading for a couple weeks. She's been coming through to me and just giving me pieces and pieces to fill. That's what we're supposed to do. Sit down, go inside. What is my next steps? I don't know what to do here, but there's a very huge balancing going on within you. And so your divine feminine has been rising, possibly for the last quite a while, where your divine masculine led before, and then all your wounded divine masculine is being healed. So what that means is so many things. So you might notice that you have an influx of beautiful divine masculines coming into your life. There might be reparations with, say, siblings that are men, or cousins that are men, and then also just friends and men wanting to help you. And you can really tell these men have high integrity, and they're trustworthy, and they're beautiful, wonderful men. Then there's also your own masculine structure that's going to help anchor down and help you keep the kingdom that you are building. It's going to help you bring in the money and the resources that you need and organize them in a respectful, beautiful fashion, so that you can actually use them to help in the projects that have been calling to your heart for so long and calling for you to help heal. There's also just going to be it could be unions at this time. So many of you might now resonate with a twin flame connection. So you might be coming back into unions. There might be alchemical marriages first. Just really beautiful unions with your twin flame. Doesn't mean you'll be physically together, but just little meeting points that start to accelerate your powers, your journeys, and gift things back to you that you need to reclaim. And then also just unions with most compatible soulmates. So actual physical relationships coming into fruition. So again, this collective reading, so it's going to be different for each of you. You're going to know where you're at as I'm talking about this. There is a huge physical grounding in all of that. So there is a huge, all of this temple work, all of this inner work that you've been creating, and all of this inner beauty, like when you love to be in meditation more, and you love to be with your oracle, or you love to be in ceremony, in moon ceremony, and out in the stars and out with nature, and all of that divinity that you have been soaking in and living in and using to alchemize your system, and where you have felt more comfortable, all of that is being channeled into the chalice, the grail, the womb space that you are, and it's being channeled out into the physical to now birth into the physical. So all of your physical is going to match your spiritual world. So be ready, and you can handle this, and you just need to tune in for your next steps whenever you need to. But control is going to also need to be released, because you're only supposed to know your next steps so that there is a balancing between the spiritual, the mental, and the action. Okay, and don't let it overwhelm yourself. You have lots of time. I've been noticing that it's been feeling like there's not a lot of time, but there's just so much desire moving through. And so just allow that to be, and make sure you're grounding and anchoring that with different practices. Dance is very, very beautiful thing. Mirror work is a beautiful thing. A lot of self-love, gratitude, gratitude, gratitude. Oh my gosh, gratitude. Persephone told me that like gratitude is the driving frequency behind all of this. So whatever you can be grateful for, whatever you can thank, all the money that's ever crossed your hands, all of the health in your life, all from the tiniest little thing to the biggest thing, anything from the past all the way to the present, like the breath, the organization of your home, having a home. If you see someone else in lack, pray for them, and then be thankful for you that you have something different, and that you have listened to spirit and done the work so that you could create a different frequency in your world, and then pray for that for them. And all of this is just going to keep amplifying, and then it connects with each of us, and then we also amplify each other, and it just becomes a really beautiful point of connection and bridges, which is also something else Persephone is working on us with. Now these guides and the angels, and these beautiful sister beings, they don't need, obviously, of course, be grateful to them, but they don't need you necessarily to, how do I explain this? Like in Earth realm, it's just like so much, we argue so much about words and definitions and dogma, and just like giving credit where credit's due, and that's fine. But this is just going to help you, even if you forget it, that these anchoring bridges, like they're making whole frequencies and whole codings and whole quantum blueprints are being laid upon your life right now, and they are connecting to other people's quantum blueprints and connecting soul contracts, and there's just all these pinnacle points in your life, and these are going to show up as signs. So for me, signs are all of the ones that I mentioned at the very beginning of anything that connects to Persephone, but there's things that will stand out to you more. So for me, it was like lilacs, pomegranates, hibiscus, crows. Anytime that I've been worried about something not working out, I'm been seeing crows. And it's literally like all I can feel is like, don't worry. So maybe that's your sign. Maybe a hawk is your sign. But just really noticing there's an eagle in some of the cards that I pulled about this, and joy. Following joy. Now, there are times to work and hanker down where there's going to be points where we're just maybe not comfortable, or maybe not really liking the process. But if you can even find joy in sticking to the plan, and knowing there's certain pieces that you have to do that might not be as joyful and fulfilling as you want them to be, or like we still don't necessarily have not moved into the timelines where we can just play all the time. Maybe some of you are in that, but that's where we are moving to. But there's still some hard work to be done. But that doesn't mean you're working yourself to the bone, and you're not working yourself to burnout anymore either. It's showing me silver lining, relief, hope, mercy. It's over. There's acceptance. So acceptance of where you've been, acceptance of where you are, acceptance of all that you are, but also releasing things that have been limiting you in the identity of them. And so these integrations that Persephone is helping you is actually restoring the plasma and enhancing your diamond light body, which is what is going to, whenever you're around people, start to transmute all the people around you. And it also calls you into your highest timeline. It calls in all those resources, and it really just starts to erupt through your life in the most beautiful and magical way. That's your magnetization, right? And so you're really supposed to look at, well, what is calling you? What is calling you to create? What is calling you to face? And what is calling you to be left behind? What isn't serving you? What have maybe people told you in your past through experiences, or things that you've assumed through experience that wasn't true about yourself? Because all of those are rising to the surface. It's like the sword of truth coming through in Persephone's energy. She's just going to help you see yourself so clearly, and in the most beautiful, real, true way of your pure divine identity, with no holes bar. And it's just going to feel, um, it may sting a little bit, right? But it's going to feel so beautiful, like sunshine's come upon you. And the stinging might be like just that part where you might need to forgive yourself for believing that for so long. Because you're going to come into this realization of like, oh my gosh, I never was that. And I believed it for so long. And this is where it kept me. Wow. And so just make sure you're really curious about these things and really bringing in that forgiveness and that gratitude of like, thank you, now that I see this truth about myself. I am so thankful that this is where I'm going and this is where it's taking me. So it is vital to rest. You must honor the calls to rest. It's vital to the integration. The old ways of pushing forward and overburdening systems is over, she says. The more that you rest and play, combined with soul callings and divine actions in the physical, the faster you're going to have your shifts. Okay? And if we're pushing through the calls to rest, there are going to be many little illnesses and things. So it's just not worth doing that. But there is going to be that joy and that ecstasy. So you want to keep following that. You know, on the other side of the work, is if you put a little work in now, is it going to lead to big payouts of joy and ecstasy? Then that's a yes. But for the most part, it should feel joyous and free and fun. And there's some parts you will have to find your strength. You will need to challenge yourself. You will need to push through. But is there a joy, ecstasy? Is it worth it on the other side? Or are you choosing something that's just not really in alignment with who you are anymore, and you're pushing yourself on the other side for not any kind of payoff that's in alignment with where you're going? These are things you're going to be called to look at. Okay? Abundance is all over your life. See it. Be grateful for it. Be thankful for it, and then start to call in what you need. Do you need more resources? Do you want to call in wealth? You are the creator of your reality. Claim it, own it, build it. Okay? You are magical. You have all the tools that you need. And between now and the dark moon, it is going to be a really magical time for you to create. You need to release control of it, trust the universe, but you need to go deep. Go deep and clean it out. What are you afraid of? What is holding you back? Why do you still feel inside that you don't deserve things that you are desiring? Because those desires are your destiny frequencies and codes inside yourself. They're calling you for a reason. Everything that calls you is a reason to, it is for a reason. Like it's something inside of your soul contract. So you are meant for it and it is meant for you, but what is holding you back? Is it a belief system? Is it something people told you? Is it something going on in your reality that keeps repeating itself? Why do you think that keeps repeating? What's keeping you stuck there? Why do you think that's the only place that you can be and you deserve? Or why do you think that's the only option? So red is going to be a sign right now, as well as the dark moon and wolves I'm seeing. Also Aquarius, Taurus, Scorpio, Libra. Okay, and finding balance, but going deeper, releasing control and trusting the universe, but still calling in what you desire. Write it down. Scripting, very powerful right now if you like to write. If not, just speak it out. Speak it out loud. I am creating this. A beautiful way to move through the chakras is root chakra, I am. Sacral chakra, I feel. Solar plexus chakra, I do. Heart chakra, I love. Throat chakra, I speak. Agya chakra, I see. Crown chakra, I know. Okay, and so it is. And it is commanded, because you are commanding energy and you are building the life that you want. So that's the Earth Star and the Soul Star connection. So speak it into existence. Write it down, put up notes everywhere, make voice recordings. Those are super powerful to do in the morning. Your voice recordings of prayers, of incantations. These are the next levels of manifestation and connection if you aren't already doing this. But your word is super powerful. Your pure heart and your pure word is going to call it in. Believe it. Okay, so another sign or frequency is rainbow black. So it's a beautiful crystalline black that shines with rainbow colors. She's saying find comfort to leave behind what isn't serving you and what is dying away. Habits, relationships, behaviors, vices, and previous interests. understand that you might get more sensitive to chemicals. There might be things that you did before, things that you ate, or vices that you leaned on that you cannot do now. You find you'll have a really bad reaction to it, a really allergic reaction. That is because it's meant to leave your system. You are coming into a new frequency, and this frequency requires more purification. You cannot bring those heavy, dense energies with you, so let them go. Find a different, clean solution to that, like food-wise, if it, like, let's say it was like a craving for food. Something that had come up in one of my channelings for this reading was Neptune. So Neptune is where Persephone is working with wherever you're on your birth chart. Go look up where your Neptune is. But this is intuitive. Neptune stands for awareness of sensitivities, intuitive expansion, and connection to your inner world. The mysticisms and elusive aspects of life. And so anytime that the Neptune crosses Aries or is in the 12th house, second or third house, this is where you're going to really feel this sensitivity more potent. You might have a lot more cleaning out to do, or you just might feel more sensitive to things, which will mean a higher intuition. So that will be a really good time to channel. That'll be a really good time to do intuitive ceremonies. Also do a ceremony on your bleed, your moon cycle, if you're identifying as a woman. And just honor the feminine side if you found this and you're identifying as divine masculine or masculine energy. Start to play more with your feminine side. Allow yourself to dream. Allow yourself to believe and daydream and believe in the ethers and believe that what you visualize can be created in your reality. Spend time in nature outside, especially if it is spring for where you are. Meditate outside. Meditate on the symphony of sounds. Persephone is reminding us to immerse ourselves in nature. Narcissus, crocus, lilacs, jasmine. Those are all beautiful, beautiful flowers. The other thing you can do is you can have a picture of these flowers and you can meditate on those. There's sacred geometry and codes that you can download through that, and Persephone will work with you if you use pictures of these, let's say, or even of the flower of life. Now, Persephone is part of the flower of life initiates. There is a goddess group of initiates that we're all high priestesses of the flower of life. And the flower of life is creational cells. And so start to work with sacred geometry. Okay, the elements, fire, earth, air, water, ethers. Work with those and work with the sacred geometry shape of them. Lately, I've been finding myself printing and laminating when I work with Persephone for some of these ancient symbols so that I can meditate on them and work with them. And it's been so powerful. And you can seek your insights and next steps from those meditations, right? You want to access your higher wisdom and your destiny codes and sink more and more into them. Bumblebees is also a sacred sound. So if you can't get outside and hear them directly, there's a ton of frequency videos on that. Vanilla is also another sign or way to connect with Persephone. And so vanilla and pomegranates, oils to adorn the body and for healings. And you can use them in offerings and ceremonies and scrying. So those are just really beautiful ways to connect into ceremony. And even though this is the full pink moon and you might have already done a ceremony or some kind of offering to Persephone, go ahead and do that again on the oncoming new moon. And so really calling us to come back to what's natural and what's real. How can you have natural, real beauty? How can you have a glow of your inner beauty coming to the outer physical and really letting go of a lot of that fake beauty stuff that's pushed upon us from the matrix, yet also allowing yourself to feel beautiful and use what you need to. I know there's a lot of clean makeup out there and stuff, and just finding alternatives and really allowing yourself to seek. I know in this channeling for this particular reading and working with Persephone myself, I've been really called to find natural fabrics, linens, cotton. I've been called to change my bed sheets to a lot of those things, and so bamboo is also a really nice fabric that's more natural. And so just really seeing what resonates for you and what kind of changes that you can make to integrate more of this for. Persephone is working with you on the universal law of vision, so being able to vision your reality and create it in the physical. the law of creation. So to actually vision it and then bring in the energetics to create it. And the Merkaba, the flower of life, you can actually, this is the meditation she's been teaching me, you can actually visualize what you want to create, and you can visualize it in a flower of life, like light orb, or a flower of life Merkaba orb, and then you can allow it to go up to your star family, or you can allow it to just disintegrate out in the ethers. And this is a really powerful, beautiful way to manifest. And then she's also working with you on the universal law of awareness. So awareness, we talked about being aware of what needs to be leaving your system, your field, your life, being able to let that go, being aware of when she's working with you, being aware of all the subtle frequencies around you, being aware of when you need to be quiet and go within and ask for more guidance and pause something, being aware of when you need to rest, being aware of all of the downloads coming through you that's going to help balance out your inner masculine, balance out your inner feminine, birth the spiritual into the physical. And obviously, all of this is guided by Creator. You know that I believe Creator is cosmic love. And all of these beings, we're all of us, we're all extension of Creator. And some of these beings worked diligently in their lives to love humanity and help humanity. And they become Ascended Masters. And they stay and they help humanity until we are all free of this violence and this evolutional path that we're on. So it's a really beautiful place to be. And just allowing yourself to really respect the feminine and respect the masculine. Allow there to be honor, protection, and support. Really understanding the tone that you use with masculine is very, very important. So bringing that awareness piece back into how are you speaking to people around you, masculine or feminine? What tones and frequencies are you in? And playing around with being connected down into your womb, down into your heart, and speaking and creating from that place and seeing the difference of when you're disconnected from it. So playing around with a lot of these is something that Persephone is bringing to you, and she's doubling down on the energy of your dedication, which if you found this reading and you've made it to the end here, you know that you're dedicated, and doubling down on that energy and being dedicated to your own inner development in a way that is going to expand and be able to help so many more people in the world. And knowing that you deserve it and bringing through the worth and the beauty and your own uniqueness, and not trying to fit into all these molds, but yet still using the rules of the game, but using the rules of the game to win the game, instead of letting the rules of the game consume you and being stuck in the matrix. So this is things that are coming through. It's a very, very powerful time when you're finding this reading. And so remember that 2 and 3 is really powerful number symbols. 12 is a really powerful number symbols. 5. You'll know that Persephone is working with you. Okay, 2 with 7, 1 with 8. All of these are extremely powerful. The triangle, the pyramid, is a very powerful symbol. Eagle, hawk, and whatever symbols arose for you that we were talking with and really stood out to you in this reading. I kept saying pomegranates, it's a huge one. Like I said, wolves, the color red. And so just watching out for these. And let me know in the comments if you have any powerful experiences with anything that I've talked about, if you really understand what you're going through. I know it's a big one. This is going to continue to unfold over the next 9 months. 9 is a huge cyclical number for us right now too. So don't expect anything to be, there's going to be moments where it's really fast and you're like, whoa, that manifested, like, wow, that was so cool. That kind of moments. And then there's going to be like, oh, why isn't this here yet? But I feel it coming. I feel it coming. I feel it coming. And so there's going to be big 9-month cycles, and you might have just completed a 9-month cycle and then we're entering a new one. Okay, so giving that time, I love you so much. I hope you enjoyed this reading. If you want to book a personal private reading with me, I am Akashic Records Keeper. I can read and help you integrate your past lives, do an energy exfoliation and clean that up, and help you pull through the best pieces of your Akashic that are going to best help serve you on your path right now, that can help move money blocks, love blocks, all kinds of things. I do channeling readings from the goddess, and we do general healing sessions, frequency recoding, programming recoding. I've been doing this for 2 decades. I have been connected to Atlantis, Lemuria, and ancient Egypt, and I have just been so gifted and blessed to be able to help myself, my bloodline, as well as thousands of other people in this work. And I'm just so, so blessed and so grateful. And I hope that you feel my prayers for you, feel my love for you, and know that I am with you in spirit. I'm always here to help you, and I love you. Love the little community that we're building over here, and I will see you on the next one. Take care. Namaste.